Welcome to NewYorkTrue.com. This week, New York State Attorney General Eric Schneiderman held a press conference in Breezy Point at the tip of the Rockaway Peninsula to call attention to the performance of charities in dispersing money raised for Hurricane Sandy relief. Breezy Point was an especially hard-hit area, and the empty space in the background was the site of the catastrophic Breezy Point fire that destroyed more than 100 homes the night that Sandy hit. Afterwards, we spoke with New York State Assemblymember Phil Goldfeder about the mayor's race and what his constituents think about the race. Goldfeder represents most of Rockaway, including Breezy Point, Broad Channel, Howard Beach, and Ozone Park. I began by asking Goldfeder whether he has endorsed the mayoral candidate.
I haven't yet endorsed. I've met with almost all the candidates. Just left a meeting a couple hours ago with the candidate, and I think everybody in this neighborhood, especially now that we're in Breezy Point, can agree we just need some change. Over the last 8 months, we've had a lot of difficult conversations with City Hall in this community and all across Rockaway and Southern Queens. So I think most of us agree that there are a lot of qualified candidates running, and it's about time we have a change.
In terms of your constituents, do you see them or hear them talking about the mayor's race and thinking about the mayor's race yet?
I think people in Southern Queens and Rockaway, and probably everybody who was affected by Superstorm Sandy, is thinking about who's going to be our next mayor. We've seen so many problems and lack of understanding and appreciation from the current administration. We're excited to have a new mayor who's going to focus on things like the Bay Wall, the Baffle Wall, the dunes on the beaches, other mitigating projects that can be done. Transportation, infrastructure, the Rockaway Beach rail line, the ferry service. I mean, there are countless amount of issues that folks in our neighborhood are concerned about, but particularly families that are still struggling to recover from Sandy. They want to know that they're going to have a mayor who's not just an advocate, but a champion for the needs of Sandy recovery.
And do you see your constituents as having any particular favorite among the field at the moment, or is that...
I still think there's a lot of room for any candidate to distinguish themselves amongst the pack by spending a lot more time in Sandy devastated area, not just in Queens, but in Brooklyn and Staten Island. This city was heavily and significantly impacted by Hurricane Sandy, and for a lot of voters, that's the issue that's going to determine how they go about picking their next mayor. So, I think a lot of candidates have done a great job of speaking to voters, but there's still time now for candidates to come out and talk a positive message about full Sandy recover to make sure that all our neighborhoods are built back stronger than they were before.
And one final question on the mayor's race. Anthony Weiner, what sort of reception do you think your constituents have for him? Are they inclined toward him or not?
Anthony Weiner represented a lot of the area that I represent when he was in Congress. So I think a lot of my constituents appreciate and respect him for the work he did in this community. And again, like I said, there's still a lot of race left to be had in this political season, and we'll see who makes the most convincing and ultimately proves to be the biggest champion for the communities that need it most.